Yes, welcome to Right in the Cootin. How we doing, lads? All right?
Good.
You're
Very
great.
good.
Aye.
This man's stomach's
I know,
all over the
yeah,
place.
aye. No, honestly,
We need to firstly, before you explain, we need to apologise to your sister's pal, who must have thought you were playing trombone in your room last night.
sister invited a pal round, but they left the living room door open. So I actually couldn't stop. I had diarrhea for 2 days now, and I ran down. But it's weird, I don't know if I can say this, but I was almost constipated, but with diarrhea feeling. So I was like, trying to squeeze it out, and I kept farting. So much like, for fuck's
Is that why your
sake,
face is sore? Right?
Aye, mate, honestly, I've just had a disaster. Genuinely, I could be running out this show.
Anytime.
Are we rolling in now? Aye, we'll be on there.
Aye, we're off.
I just feel that I'm going to be running to the toilet very, very
You've
quickly.
just told the nation how you
Do you know
feel.
what, by
No,
the
but do you know why he is running to the toilet? He's just kidding you on. There's a Johnny machine in there.
way, can I just say, couldn't go to sleep, as you know, and I let's put a podcast on Frank Lampard with Jake Humphrey. The reason Frank Lampard played football was because of Frank McAvenny.
No way.
Right.
And mate, genuinely, it was like,
That,
when I grew up, it was like, I was,
know.
like, obviously loved West Ham, and players like Frank McAvenny made me want to play the game. Mate, how amazing is that? Seriously.
Wow. That's amazing.
By the way, mate.
I met
What a
him,
man.
I met him in, when they were playing Chelsea. I met him down at Upton Park, and I was there. The missus were watching the game. I mean, down the lift, and him and John Terry were on the lift. Oh, Mac, how are you doing? And he said, the two of them says, you were our hero when we were growing up. I says, you've just given me a compliment and a kick in the balls at the same time.
See that? I know
Thanks very
you're
much.
talking about Lampard. That's Lewis's hero. See when he's talking.
Oh, it's a nice wee link, isn't it? I like how you've done that.
No, when you see that, the players that he admires, he's looked at,
player.
you know, growing up, and that was it. Frank Lampard.
Who was your hero? growing up?
Mate, Coop. Well, we'll say that David Cooper, I've sort of shadow of doubt, but that's brilliant.
Who was yours, Frank?
Kenny, probably.
Ugly.
Kenny, aye. I never started playing football till late. I was 19 when I started.
How about we did up to then?
watching Celtic every week. I was a home and away
What,
supporter.
casual?
I was a casual. I was one of the Green Brigade.
Oh, yeah?
They weren't formed at the time.
He's still one of
them. I was there. So when Kenny left, 77, I thought my world had ended. I was in tears, wasn't I? It was inconsolable. But
Did you get to meet him in that, obviously?
I
huh?
played, made my debut for Scotland. With him now I'm his pal. I could phone him up. Now.
What, you played on the pitch one for your debut?
Aye, made my debut for Scotland.
Wow.
Gave him a goal. Put him through, 1-on-1. Cheers, buddy.
I know.
Big names, innit? I love that.
Terry Mendes.
Right, Slaney. The leader, somebody won £6,000 last night, man.
Did they?
£6,000.
Nobody picked that crap last week. All them results.
What crap?
You can't pick them. Nobody could get them.
No, was it last night?
Somebody got-
somebody
was
got
it?
£6,000. Somebody won.
Wow.
£6,270 for the
Wow.
man Aston.
Aston.
Unbelievable, outright winner. I mean, to be fair, see this week you deserve that money because it was the hardest coup
Ah, it's
of
a
all
terrible
time.
coup, aye.
Win it?
Couple of mere grand and get an Aston.
Every
Martin.
week you have
Is that the hardest you've seen it, Frank? Is that the hardest you've seen it?
when I was watching it last week, and I was thinking, wow, thank God I couldn't pick him. I wasn't here. So I didn't have to pick him.
£6,270. What a Christmas he's going to have.
Aye.
But see people that win it.
Last day Christmas.
Should they not be sorting us out with you?
No, it's theirs. A wee guy in Tesco said to me, he's into it big time. He says it's absolutely amazing.
What,
Said
the betting app,
said just for a
Aye, it's
fiver or
great.
no.
Do you know what I was
So-
thinking? Do you know what I was thinking? It's unbelievable. Oh, here, by the way, my birthday's next week.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, I
mate.
know that.
No, next
your
week,
order's
so-
in.
My
What age
birthday's
are you?
Sunday.
Oh, Frank,
My birthday's
I
Sunday.
need somebody. I don't know if I could say this. I would love a lap dance on here for my birthday.
He's
No,
a man.
it's your man. No, me.
No,
Frank, can you
Aye.
please
Can't.
get somebody to come in and see me at the leaderboard at least? If you don't want a lap dance, let's get somebody on, somebody famous. Do you know Lorraine Kelly, but don't you? Could you text her? No.
Get her to stop the show.
She's doing it in London, you know.
Get her to stop Good
who
Morning
can-
Britain and come up for you.
I want somebody, my birthday is a very special time of the year, and I want somebody on here to do this leaderboard with me. I don't think it's a lot to ask, lads. Here, I was just thinking, by the way, listen to this.
You are a girl, don't you?
I need
know,
a
I
nice
know.
lady.
Right, we'll have a
I
think. We'll
can
have a
tell, I
think,
can
won't we?
tell. He's one a girl
Put it
who's
there.
St. Paul.
Anyone that fancies it, there you go. Anyone that watches this that fancies
anyone
it.
fancies it.
Have you got anybody up your sleeve? No? I thought you actually had this planned. You were going to have somebody. He's thought about it.
What age are you? 14?
15.
What age are you on your birthday?
29.
29, mate.
That's mental, man.
You
Anyway,
going to start growing up?
I really do need to start.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
No,
you
never.
want to be yourself,
Nah,
aren't
stay where you
Yeah,
are,
see what I was going to say is, before, I know it takes so long, this leaderboard every week, I actually feel really push my stomach, you know. See, mate, think of this, who knows wins, right? The leaderboard when we go to the Euros. Could you imagine doing London at Wembley?
What, a big leaderboard?
Leaderboard, I'm holding it up the bus.
I know.
with Scotland suit on.
No, and give the guy that wins the money, give him the money so we can spend it.
I give him the cash.
Are you coming on the bus?
I'm coming on the bus
yeah,
for sure.
Who you got, Derek and Frank?
When are we leaving? But I need to know the dates.
Well,
Rough. Or is it
tell
going to
you
be
that,
confirmed?
yeah,
But I'm on it.
Two of you confirmed.
Oh, I'm on it.
Derek and Frank, on you two use with the bus. You've got one special guest in
He
your
says he's flying down.
I'm not going to do
No,
the
but
bus.
once you're down there, you can come on the bus.
join
I said you're on the
I'm
bus.
going on. I'm on the bus right today.
We're not. You're on the
guest.
bus.
You'll be
Right,
it
okay,
yourself.
you can drive it down.
You run it yourself.
Aye,
You're the driver.
I don't mind. Hey, I'll be happy with that.
Derek and Frank, special guest each you can bring on the bus.
Right, okay.
Your family's all welcome, but I mean a special guest who's
Right,
going to bring.
I can bring my boys.
They can
What,
come.
only one though? So you've just got
How
one
can I
guest.
pick one out of three? I
Well, one
can't do
next door
that.
outside, Derek.
Time to show your true colours, isn't it? Pick your favourite. So it'll be good to see Lewis on the bus. Frank, who you
That's
picking?
all.
I don't know. I'll get somebody.
Get somebody famous for us.
I'll get somebody.
We don't really want.
Who's your one?
Going
mate,
to
you bring?
Scotland, man. It's going to be me, Martin Compton or something like that.
He's coming.
He's up for it. Is he
He's
coming
on.
down?
He's up for it, he's
well
coming.
done. He's on for it. I'll get somebody.
Russell Brand.
Oh, there's a
Bring
shot.
Russell.
Good shout if he wants to come and get day. He doesn't drink now. Born.
There's
Dinna
going to
bring
be a
Russell.
part. No, but there is going to be a part of the bus, Frank. There's going to be a part of the bus.
There's going to be a sober part of the bus.
There's going to be a shot up the back.
He
of the sober bag.
would hold court. He would hold court.
I've got the back.
Change my
sober.
mind.
Hey, am I going to go on with this leader?
Aye,
Wait,
aye,
who's,
aye,
your,
go on,
who's,
get
your,
on
who's
it.
your guest?
I genuinely really want Michelle McManus sat on the bus with me.
Right, we'll sort that.
Yeah,
No
duet.
bother.
Maybe we could sort her for next weekend off.
I know.
She does the panto every year and there's no panto happening, so she'll
I
be
know.
desperate to come on.
Oh yes, there is.
No lads, not only was that not only was there one winner, there was 6 runners up on 9 points who won £940. I mean, how mental was that? Runners up winning £940.
Aye,
You shouldn't get anything for second, eh?
I
But
know.
that's how good that
This
happens.
is the game. It's unbelievable.
It's all about the game.
Not about the game, innit? It's not
Do you know
about
what I mean?
money.
As you said a couple of weeks ago, when you win a coup, I can't know him that wins £940.
No.
These 6 of these guys are winning it for being runners up. Unbelievable.
Aye,
So,
brilliant.
on to the pundits, guys. How do you think he's done?
Shite.
I was here, so I done well.
So it was obviously my wee chance to catch up because I missed the first week.
I got the
Derek,
Scotland game right.
you done
I
really
took a
well.
draw.
What were you on the first week? Can you remember what
Wales.
points tally you were on?
No, God, I
Stupid
can't
point.
remember
So
yesterday.
Derek, you've actually in 316th with 12 points. Frankie, you're second without even playing that way.
Frankie. Wow.
Fun time, Frankie. I seen that. Brilliant for you.
Oh, that video I had, we need to pull you up for that.
Brilliant.
What you gain yourself performance-wise out of 10 on that?
Man, I didn't get any time to practice, you know. So it was,
Frank, you are on 7 points and
Didn't
I am on 6 points. But it's been such a positive weekend. It's been the most positive week in a long, long time in the nation. I want to bring it down a wee notch and look at the losers on this leaderboard.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Slaughter them as well.
These
Yes.
guys, I'm going to say a few names who are at the bottom of the November list. Here we go. Fudface United.
Perfect.
Like, great name. Gaz 1997, Nicky 6457. Remember these guys on 2 points. They don't deserve reading out for the king, but listen, I'll do what I need to do with my job I do now. Robert the Wit 92, Scotty G 32. Big Wallop of one. I like that. I wonder if that's
Kevin Kyle.
Kevin Kyle, aye, certainly. C-Mac 81, and one that really disturbed me last night is Slaney's Da.
Oh, by the way, on your dad, I love these David Marshall flag.
He's what?
Did you see
You seen the
that?
David Marshall flag?
no.
No, it's,
No, it's-
tell us, come
I'll
on.
show you on Twitter after
Right,
this.
Okay.
All right.
No, I was thinking, see, obviously we go to lockdown tomorrow, didn't we?
Yeah.
Friday, so it's really, really, really disappointing
Depends
stuff.
where you are.
But since the full of Scotland, Derek, right? What I'm thinking is, 8 o'clock, remember we done the clap for the NHS? Why don't every Friday night at 8 o'clock, the whole nation sings I Can Boogie?
Great idea.
Nice.
What a shit. Would you be up for that?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, you have made it
Aye.
what it is. It's
Yes.
out there, isn't it? No getting
There's
the...
a lot of pretenders out there trying to take your claim away.
Glad
Aye,
you said
there
that.
was.
Your thoughts on
Aye.
that, Frank? By the way, superb for you, putting it straight on the radio.
know.
That sums
Oh,
you
it
up in a
had,
man.
to be, it
I
had
know.
to be said, wasn't it?
Amazing, mate.
Because it's down to you guys, you know. It's, certainly I know this is right in the coupon, but open goal. It's phenomenal, you know, and all the
it's
guys,
you
the
and Cam,
young
you
ones
were
that
in
watch
the
it.
argument with you and
You
I
have
wasn't
made it.
arguing with him.
Who was somebody's arguing? He's hopeless anyway.
Right, football.
No, Simon,
Oh, you still
before we
going on? Sorry.
Sorry. So obviously last week we crossed over with
Under the course.
under the cosh guys. So we're
Didn't even
going
want to mention them though, do I, really?
No, because there's going to be a big clash in the summer when Scotland play England, do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So this week, after the crossing, who knows once I've put together a Super League with both Scottish and English games combined. Wow. This means the pot is starting at a massive £15,000.
Wow, brilliant.
Does it get any better than that,
Superb.
Simon?
Absolutely not.
It might if you start putting your little fiver in and getting that pot rising.
I think that could go to 30 grand that pot.
Aye,
I want to see your rising. Let me see that rising, boy. Okay, Simon, just the last wee bit at the end.
Everything but
Can't have
harmony.
it this early in the morning again. It's too early in the morning.
Okay, guys, my segment has ran over again. I've been very flat today because my arse is in tatters. Download the Who Knows When app and join the Open Goal League for your chance to
in
win.
tatters.
The pin is Battle.
Oh,
Battle.
Battle.
Bit disappointed. I never heard that. till
Who's
like
coming up with
you've
these
Shuffling
pins?
about there, you alright?
We'll start coming up with the pins.
God.
Right, what a week, lads.
It's brilliant.
Scotland, how'd you celebrate it?
Back to normal last night.
No, they weren't. They're playing well, Frank.
Played well.
But just talking about the Serbia game, right? Talk us through. How did you celebrate it?
Oh, I was shouting. My dog didn't know what was happening. I was shouting at the telly. I was back to my youth, screaming and shouting. You know, when it was just so jubilant. Then they scored in the 90th minute, that one, and you're like, oh my God, they're going to get beat because they were on the front foot, weren't they? So, but they done brilliant. The boys done tremendous to rally it round, and you know, it's just I'm proud of them.
What about you? 'Cause you've been off the drink, so did you have a wee
No,
to celebrate that?
cup of tea, but the first half, I'll go to be honest with you, I was a wee bit gobsmacked how well we were playing.
Yeah.
Because it was a total opposite of what I thought. I thought we'd be pinned back.
Yeah.
We were in control of the game, so we were. And then the second half, I thought we're going to be a reaction for them. No, we carried on. We seemed to even get stronger. So it was like when they scored, you know, last minute, the header, it was the usual. I just turned to the boys. I was just watching it with Ross and Darren, and I went, same old, here we go again. So I was gutted. I thought that was it. Went bent, made a cup of tea, I come back, watched the extra time, and although we weren't at it, substitutions, you know, never really kind of performed, but
No.
I did fancies when we
They
go
were
to
hopeless.
penalties.
Substitutions. Hopeless.
Right, aye, don't mention your words in Frank.
Hopeless. It's only changed the game, really,
For the other team.
for the other team.
But I think you brought them in for a bit of height, set pieces now.
I
Just
don't
5
know.
minutes
I
to
mean,
go.
listen, I've got to admit, I was surprised at how good Dykes is. It was unbelievable in the first half. Second half as well, holding the ball, bringing people into play. You know, and I think that's what he wanted for McBurney, and he never got it. You know, he never held on to it. On, listen, I'm not going to go to boy, but it just wasn't his night.
It is tough coming on as a sub, though. I know you never
I've
played.
never done it.
Did you not mind coming on? I hated coming on
I
as a sub.
I was never sub. So I didn't-
Marcus, see on the Dykes thing, I'm not surprised. I've said to you before, I've been watching him for the last, 3-4 years when he was at Queen of the South. And it was actually Dobie that was getting all the kind of plaudits.
his donkey work,
But
didn't
he played behind Dobie, run about him, we got flick-ons, done all the hard work.
Yeah.
But I always thought he was a boy that if he went to a better players run about him, he would kick on. He'd done it at Livingston, you know, and then I thought his opportunity with Scotland, I thought he'll take it because he's got that mentality, he's got that attitude that I'm going to go and show you. And it's just somebody and he's got a great move now.
I'll tell you what,
I
some of the
think he'll kick
movement,
on.
watching the game since then, some of the movements he was doing, he was like,
He's
well,
he's
last
a
night-
brilliant
last night he made some
athlete.
movement, and he never get a ball, and he was screaming at the boys, and I'm thinking, you know, for the first time.
You played under Davy Hopkin at Livingston. Was he good for you?
No, not at all. Bastard, you done me there, didn't you? Derek, see, just on that, see, there's a chance here for guys like your Billy Gilmore, Lewis, Ross McCrory and stuff. Do you think it's a wee opportunity for Lewis to have his eye on to get into that squad in the summer? Will he be looking at that?
Of course he'll look at it, but it's going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, they guys, you know, there's a lot of football to be played, so if there was an injury to one or two of them, then you would think they might get in the back door, but if they guys remain fit, Stevie Clark, I think he's faithful to his players, and if they're fit and they get to that stage of season, I don't see them getting in. They'll just need to...
The midfield's very strong.
Yeah.
The midfield's your strongest place. See, touching on before we leave that, do you see the result with Serbia last night? They beat Russia 5-0.
Yeah, seen that.
So that just shows you how well we performed. But with the guys like Gilmer, McCrory and Lewis, it's a big
good for the
gas.
future.
And they're just coming off a huge disappointment. They had an opportunity to get the Euros themselves and fell at the
Who beat
last
them,
hurdle
Greece?
with Greece. Aye. They were playing in a...
I really
it was-
fancied them as well.
The park was an absolute shocker,
Was it
by
over
the
in
way.
Greece? No.
Aye, but they had a couple of
Maguire went
opportunities.
to Greece and he fell as well, didn't he?
But they were disappointing. I just thought, can you believe as well? See, talking on the 21s, I need to get this off my chest as well.
Go for it, mate.
Get
Because
off your chest.
That's what you're here for.
well, the boy Turnbull, will get. He's a brilliant player without a shadow of doubt. Obviously, he's not had the game time with Celtic. There's a reason for that. You've got guys like Christie, but we were crying out for somebody with a wee bit of invention in that game. And we go into, he gets 17 minutes in that game. You should have brought Market. You should have won at least at half time, if not at least a half an hour to go.
Wait, why did he not start?
Well, he started with Maguire and Lewis in the middle of the party, Middleton, and who's the other wide player, the forward-thinking player, McLennan, with Hornby up top. But watching the game, it just needed somebody between the midfield and the Gemmell, by the way. And decision, it was just crying out for somebody, like a Turnbull, to come on there. That wee bit of class. He's brilliant in that number 10 role, at finding the wee gaps, the wee spaces. And see, when he come on, he had 2 shots at goal, right, but he put them past, but he's a top player. How he wasn't in that, and how he never played a bigger part in the game bemuses me. When it was a huge game for Scotland, and it was a game they had to win. It was not a draw or anything. Sit in, go and win it. Get players of that calibre on the park, and it gives yourself more of a chance.
They're so negative, the coaches nowadays, just pass.
That's
it's more about getting beaten, isn't it?
Keep the ball in your lap, what?
That's what it felt like to me. It was like,
and that's what I've enjoyed with Scotland though. The first team, they've attacked a lot more in the last 2 games.
I know, it's right. But I remember watching Slaven Bilic. He was on doing something in one of the commentaries, and England were playing, and there's so much possession, you know. And he's going, but it's not doing possession. He says the other team let you have it. You just sat back. You've got to break them down. He says you take possession, but they beat you 1-0. It's all about goals, isn't it?
So I was frustrated watching a boy at Turnbull's class sitting on the bench, and I thought, wow, come on. So anyway, that's it.
Good point.
See, on that, when you said there about the first team, the national team, obviously, the way they're playing. See, obviously, they've lost the last 2 games, but in the past when they've lost, it's been like, same old Scotland. You actually go out for the game going, they actually played well tonight. And I know
you're optimistic, mate.
Do you know what I mean? I know at this level it is about results, but the Slovakia game, they were excellent. Do you know what I mean? And
I think you'll get more results in the long run playing like that.
Yeah, definitely. And getting into the Euros, that's
everyone thinks everyone's what is it, 8 games or 9 games with it. I think it gave 7.
I think it was 8 games.
But without getting beaten in, they've been beat twice.
But
so that's one of them.
But the performance levels went up. That's the performance levels been excellent the last 3 games.
Do you know soon to bring? I mean, I'm not. You've got the squad. The team's good, but the squad's got to get better because I think what they're bringing on is not good enough.
But I look at guys like you've got, as you say, you've got Billy Gilmore that could come in. I mean, he could make a big difference coming on and stuff like that.
I think Nisbet could get a wee shout at that squad.
Bang on the money.
But I mean, listen, they brought in, I'm not McBurney and Ollie Burke, they've had their chance. You know, I mean, they've had their chance. Many games you want to go. Without, I mean, they're not even contributing.
You've got a guy in form there.
A guy in form. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Ollie Burke came on last night. He just ran out of the park. You know, he never. I'm like, what's he doing? Oh, he's very quick. So is Linford Christie. He could have played football. You know, get by him and get the ball. He just didn't do it for me. You know, he didn't. And the boy McBurney, I don't know if he's trying too hard or not because he's not scored in 14 games or not. But no, for me, coming on, you've got to make an impact. No, turn it the other way.
Yeah.
See, on the Nisbet one, he's the same. I've mentioned him in the same breath as Dykes. I think he's the exact same. I think I watched him. He had a tough time at Thistle, didn't he? They sell justice. He went to Rafe Rovers. He was at Dunfermline. I watched him a few times, and I thought if he gets better players on about him, again, they disrespected Dunfermline boys. He'll kick on it, and he has. I think he's a guy marker that see if he gets into that Scotland setup, I think he would do you a turn. By the way, he's one to seriously look at. By the way, you talk about guys coming in. He's certainly one of them.
I think a good thing about Stevie, he'll know, like we Gordon, that used to have favourites, and they were always in, no matter how they were playing and all that. You know, managers do that, but I think Stevie will pick it on form. I think he's, you know, very favourites. You know, if you're not playing well for your club, he'll not have you in.
I think this season, I'm surprised even on the form that. Boy Shankton's obviously a really good player, but in this season, Nisbet deserves to be called up ahead of Shankton.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised he's knowing it. He's the type of player, as you said, he's similar to Dykes. Yeah. I mean, I like him a lot. I'm surprised.
And I think what he'll do, Slaney, he'll kick on with better players on about him, better service, and honestly, I've saw that, and I've watched the two of them. I was been shouting and bawling about them for the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm glad to see them, you know, like, playing at the top of their game.
It's a man that knows football.
Yeah. No, but it's just when you see something
you can tell.
them, and they've got that desire, that hunger. Did you say that?
Moving on. Paul Slane has said we can qualify for the group on the podcast.
I agree. Honestly, I think we can. Croatia ain't the same team. Czech Republic, not sure much about. Don't they've got the same players as back in the day, Nedved and Preboski, Petr Cech. Could go through it the whole 11 if I wanted.
Go on then, keep going. Go through 11, mate. Let him go through 11. Go.
But obviously up front, John Carew as well.
John Carew, was he in Norway?
John Carew.
Why do you open my mouth, eh? I should just leave it.
I could go through it for 11.
You know exactly what you were doing.
What I'm going to say is now, when I was in America, every single time you drove by a house, every time you drove by a big crane with the
Czech Republic flag.
Why did you not
John
like?
Carew was the tap in the
Why
door.
did you not like America? Not get used to the language or something?
What were you going to say to America?
Where America, see everywhere about the American flag. See from now to the Euros, I want that saltire hanging out every single buddy's window.
I thought you were going to sing it.
They're absolutely windy. No, I want that saltire absolutely everywhere. This nation is now back. It is the best country in the world by far. People might say that about their own country. I know when I've travelled the world, Scotland comes first in the way people treat you. Get that Scotland flag, get the saltire out the window.
I picked you up this morning, there was no Scotland flag at your window.
What flag was it?
Japanese flag.
He used it last night.
Japanese flag in
He had to use it last night.
Aye. Aye. You pulled the Tim's get the white flag out, didn't he?
Right.
Brilliant.
But by the way,
Oh, yes, sir!
I can bring it better a certain song. I can bring it all night long. But we're already getting written off with the pundits down in England already.
Right, it's off at your peril.
Talk sport. Well, you got the boy.
Danny Murphy, mate, said the
Danny
BT,
Murphy
what?
giving
What did he say?
the
Simon
B
Johnson
team.
said under 21s as well.
The B team would even beat us the
Did you
21s.
hear that? I think they were
We're
just
getting
winding
absolute-
Jim up, eh?
No, they're not. No,
Aye.
they're serious, by the way. We're getting right. Brilliant. I love
I know.
it. So right
You're
it's
always
off.
going to get written off, but
Aye.
Hey, Battle of Bannockburn. William Wallace. Right as half then.
Bring Danny Murphy at the party.
Remember, see when they were doing that? Freedom. See when they did the national anthem at Wembley? I hope the Scotland boys mooney them. Sorry, pull their arses out. Like Braveheart did. Remember
Imagine the
Braveheart? Pull their arses out.
Imagine the punters all doing that.
Oh, mate, imagine
That would be unbelievable.
Remember doing the Braveheart? Arses out.
Amazing.
They'll not get it. How can you arrest 14,000 punters
On a
at
boogie
one
bus.
time?
on a biggie
What
bus.
the big-
Yeah, it's going to be. Have you got any stories for when you were at Rangers and Celtic on a bus journey? Obviously away journeys and stuff. Did you what's your most a story that happened on a bus at Rangers or at West Ham or Celtic?
Oh, I'll tell you a quick. Well, it wasn't even
Can't
Rangers,
tell
obviously Celtic. It was at Falkirk. We had a Falkirk sign up the back of the bus, a wooden one, and we had a few cans of beer on the way back down to Aberdeen, and we got a wee competition. See who could karate chop the thing. And Darcy won it, you know. But in winning it, I get fined 2 weeks' wages.
Did you?
Aye.
Brilliant.
How'd you break your hand?
What?
Did you break your hand?
No, I broke the board, but then I'd said to him, I says, I'll get you a new one. I was going to, I had in my mind that I was going to get a new, better sign and all that, you know,
What
up to
did you
date
want a
one.
Falkirk
What?
Falkirk sign.
Aye, for the back of the bus and the front of the bus. So we had a wee comment, as you do, and you have a few babies. and
Derek,
all
see when you were at Rangers, did you have your certain seats? Like would you?
that. Aye.
Who
see,
would your wee group?
I had it more with see, Sunderland, we had brilliant journeys because we were always on the bus for like 5-6 hours at a time.
What was Charlie Nicholas like in the bus?
Aye, good. He's all right.
Was he
Charlie's all right. Charlie's just
What was he like?
Charlie's
on the bus?
Charlie.
Was it like,
Charlie's just Charlie. He's good.
Yeah, Jake, this will lift the club, our game at club level. Scotland qualifying.
100%.
aye,
I think the
every boy.
biggest problem they've got at the moment is the fans. No in stadium.
Yeah.
That's it would have lifted. The whole nation's been lifted, but it's the fans in it that in the stadium would have been tremendous. You know, some of the kids, like your generation's never seen them at a tournament. So, you know, it's a shame because of the fans are not there.
Right, we'll go to domestic stuff. Celtic, COVID scare, IRL, Unity, but both available.
Both available.
Frank, how important, because they
Big-
too but made
massive.
big difference against Motherwell, didn't they?
Massive. Two of them is just, they've been big players for them. I mean, Ayer's been injured a wee bit, but he stepped up and he's the only one in the back four, apart from Frimpong when he goes forward, but he's the only one that's got genuine pace. So he can react to any mistakes that's getting made. And Elyounoussi, goals that he scores is just incredible. So, yeah, big player. he's getting the squad back together, Lenny, and it's hopefully continues. It's a big game. It's a massive game. Go to.
You need pace at the back, won't he, with Boyle?
We're talking about Motherwell's a hard one to go to, but this again, Hibs going there, and they've got to be on form. He's got to be on form because we just spoke about him. Nisbet, good player, and if they're not on form, he'll score.
Aye, we've got
Tough test.
They've got Murphy as well, and we're talking about Nisbet as well. They two in the wider areas, and Boyle's got a wee bit of licence to drift inside as well at times, so they could cause Celtic a few problems. A tough one for Celtic.
I think Hibs will want these.
I think they're all tough, aren't they?
I think Hibs, they didn't do themselves justice at Celtic Park, didn't they? No. I think
Did you just read that off that sheet there?
Aye, just read. That was the next question. That was the next question. So I was going to actually say that and then go, what was your opinion? I actually meant to ask the question instead of seeing it as a point. But do you think, so they didn't really do themselves justice, did they, the first game?
Is that a question?
I'd be better half London diary now. Goodness me. So do you think they will look at that game and say, do you know what? We weren't good enough that game.
Aye.
I know what you meant. To help you, I think Hibs will go a wee bit more direct. I don't think they'll try to play through the lines. I think they'll try to get the ball forward a wee bit quicker and get the guys like Murphy, like Boyle, like Nisbet as well. Was it Boy Doige up top as well? Yeah. Aye, up top. So he's quite powerful. He's got a wee. He can sniff a goal, and the boy Newell is in the middle of the park. He's playing well.
John Newell,
so as he's at it. So
the boy for me, is Oji,
Gogic, they sit in the middle of the park. So I think that they'll try and miss them out. I don't think they'll play in the middle. I think they'll try and get it into the final third. Hopefully, they'll carve something out with the four of them.
And see, because of that pace, is that why Duffy can't play?
That's a great aye. I don't think he can, mate. Because if
you need to go Iron Bitten again.
As far as Julian,
I think Beacon's a brilliant player.
Yeah, he's good.
I really do.
Did
you see the one who dribbled across the 6 yard?
Yeah.
Oaks last night. He was laughing at you, going, aye. Very. I think he's a.
Burnt somebody with a cigar.
But if you're Jack Ross and you see Duffy's playing, you're just saying board in the channel for him all the time. Guys like Boyle, Nisbet running him.
He'll not play. I think we'll play a back four.
It'll be the same team as Motherwell, Frank, won't it?
I don't know. Is it El Mohamed? If he's fit, I think they might bring him back because he's big.
Instead of Frimpong, Frank?
Aye, I think so. Because he's big, they're losing goals.
Set pieces.
So
good point.
That's another one to come in. So, and he's no bad going forward, but he's a better defender than Frimpong.
It's a good time,
so I think he'll do that. That would be the only change. Because I like Laxall, the boy left back.
Yeah, he's good.
I like him. He's a good player.
Aggressive. So. Here's one for you, Paul. Who plays? Edward scored 2 for the French in the 21s. Ayete started last week, done quite well. Who plays?
I think we all know. I think Edward is Celtic's best player on his day. I think he's the best player in the league but he's not been at it this season. But maybe that
scoring 2 goals
for France. I think he set some sort of record as well. Maybe that would be the wee spur that he needed. I would certainly always, if you can, start with Edward for me.
Aye.
But actually, I'm worried about this game because of it's probably the best time to get Celtic Rangers right after the international break when the full squad's been away. Whereas Hibs probably maybe a couple of players here and there.
They've time to work on things.
Time to work and stuff. Lenny's probably not had a session. The players won't be back to Friday. And they're not going to train, I don't think.
Anyone know how far, do you call them, the Sealing boys are away?
Who, Rogic?
Rogic.
I'm not sure.
Rogic.
It's not on that sheet, mate. I don't know.
I know. I don't know.
They need to.
He's a big player. He's been a big player for him.
See, you're touching on Edward.
Aye.
See, I know from the outside looking in, and you see him. I just see his body language.
Yeah.
He doesn't look a happy camper. And then you're saying he's went away with the friends.
Sometimes with strikers, I noticed him against Aberdeen, trying to beat 3 and 4 players, and he's maybe just trying to get that thing back. Strikers, it's all about confidence, and he's maybe just been trying too hard to get it.
I mean,
so he scored 2 goals for France. He'll come back. I think he put him straight in because I don't think. The boy Ajeti is. I think you can't get a ball and get it back off him. He's not a play. He doesn't get involved in the team play. He just wants to score goals.
Right. The reason I'm asking that is because the same question was posed with Morelos. Because of the speculation, his head was turned a wee bit, and he was just off it a wee bit. And it's the same thing. I look at Edward, and there's been a lot of speculation. It just doesn't look. It doesn't look right. I don't know. Sometimes
Gerrard took Morelos at the team when he was acting like that, didn't he? Lenny took Edward out on Motherwell.
They've got to make big decisions, haven't they? But trying, I don't know if it's an elbow in the shoulder or whatever.
He came on at Motherwell and made it done all right. So I think
he set up in Chan.
I think you put.
But remember, I said last week. I think you were obviously you weren't here, Maka. It's the celebration, him and Ncham. There was nothing.
None.
I looked at that, and that was the one thing. That's what I'm talking about, body language. I mean, someone still sits kind of right with me with that. I said, there's something kind of weird. You know, I don't know. I might be talking a lot of nonsense as usual, but I don't know.
Edouard beat Dembele's record that was for France in the 20s.
Was it, aye?
So here's a question, who do you think's better?
At the moment,
I'll
at the moment I'd say Dembele.
Yeah, I agree. He's an animal.
If he's
Dembele,
at
isn't he?
it, see, I'm different for you for that.
Yeah.
He was learning for Dembele, wasn't he? When he was there, it was just looking at him. I think he's an all-round player, Dembele, but I think he could overtake. In my eyes, it doesn't matter.
I think
Dembele was brilliant in Europe, though, wasn't he?
I know, but I think
Level.
he can. Yes, so does he. Edouard does. He steps up, didn't he?
I think a
I think he's
happy
alright.
Edouard.
Aye, yeah,
and
well,
somebody
exactly.
is a classier player, a wee bit more
Better
cultured.
touch and stuff like that.
Aye,
but
all
in
that
terms
sort of
of
stuff. It just
running
finds
a back four ragged
finds wee pockets of space. So for me, Edouard, I think will be the. No, just
I think he will. I think he will be. I think he will be better than Dembele.
I would probably say-
He's got capabilities to be better than him. Put it that way.
I would say Dembele for me. I remember speaking to John Kennedy and he said Edouard he's got more attributes than Dembele as a centre forward. But for me, I think Dembele, when I remember seeing Man City, Rangers and stuff, his performance was incredible.
Who you texting?
No, I've actually got aye.
That's the most I've heard John Kennedy speak to me.
Right, on to Rangers. Tasty game on the telly this Sunday. Huge one in the Ferguson household. Aberdeen, good record there, but
Who do you
Rangers...
want to win? Did you say
No,
that?
that's a huge game in the Ferguson household.
Aye,
You're a bit aggressive here.
No, I know. I thought you were going to punch me.
Sorry, no.
Punch
No,
fuck you,
it's listen, Rangers are flying at the minute. And they make changes week in, week out. It's seamless. They just seem to pick up from where they've left off. So, but it'll be an Aberdeen side that'll come under McInnes. They'll be well drilled.
Will they sit in, Derek, or will they have a go Aberdeen?
I think it'd be stupid to go and have a go at Rangers. They'll come with a game plan.
I think
they'll sit in. It'll be the 5 at the back, the 3 at the back. Then obviously it'll be Hayes and Kennedy. If fit, they'll sit in there a wee bit. I think they might bring the boy Lee in beside Lewis. McCrory can't play because obviously the loan thing. So I think it'll be up to.
Well, he'll sign for them, money.
I think he does. He will sign it.
It's a done deal. That'll be all right. But it's whether I think for Aberdeen, if they can get Hedges on the ball, maybe Hayes at times or Kennedy higher up, they could cause them a wee bit of problems with. But you've got Cosgrove. He's in another couple of weeks. Get a wee bit more fitness, but a wee bit more sharpness. So maybe it could come down to set pieces. But no, Aberdeen will need to sit and kind of curtail Rangers but Rangers are still good, Mark. I see run about the box.
I know.
The wee give and goes. Aye, like Aribo back in the side, Kent and all that, and the fullbacks flying past. I just think they've got a wee bit too much for
The back
Aberdeen.
four picks itself for Rangers. What about middle to front?
Well, that's what aye, for me, I would always have Aribo and Kent in there, you know, supporting
The
Morelos.
two off Morelos.
Aye, I like them, and everybody talks about how they're narrow, and they're narrow for a reason because the two fullbacks fly up the outside and they've got delivery, and I would imagine Jack will be in there with Davis. Aye, and Arfield as well. I think.
What about Kamara?
Oh God! See, there you go. Kamara's been outstanding. It's just there's so many.
There was word in the paper Sunday we're going to go for another midfield player, and I was like, no chance.
Well, they've signed Zunga, isn't they?
Zunga is and he's a bit of a specimen. If you see him, he's a big lad.
So they were going to get somebody for England. There've been too many.
So, but Wilshere again, they were linked to again. I seen that.
He came on as sub the Hamilton game, and he never gave a ball away. And he looks a play, but you need to see him in the heat of the battle. Yeah. But I think it's a wee bit too early for him. But that would be a game for him because what Aberdeen will do against Rangers is make it physical. They've got to. Yeah. You've got to kind of disrupt them.
This year, Aribo, Jack.
Rebo was brilliant at the start. He was out injured with his ankle. For me, and you know, Kent was started off brilliant, and he didn't go off the boil. It's just because he's playing at such a kind of. An 8 or a 9 out of 10 week in, week out.
That's what Celtic in it. They've set themselves standards that they've no reached. So.
But I always like Aribo because he's got the old dancing feet and he can.
He's good in tight situations, isn't he?
Brilliant. That's what I'm saying. They're great run about the box.
Derek, do you think Rangers will keep a clean sheet?
I do.
Cosgrove will be a bit of a test for Goldson and Haaland if they win it because Cosgrove's a good player. Nah?
Aye, oh God, aye. But what I think as well is because he's playing, you know, it's an easy out ball for for players to just find that
Just
long
too easy
ball.
to kick it long.
I like sometimes if it's on to play it a wee bit shorter and build up, get up the park, because Aberdeen will need to sit in. So I think they need to play it. See if they're hitting it up. Goldson and Hollander, I'll take care of
another
them.
boy up front is a big lad.
Hedges just plays off from
Hedges has played the
plays well, doesn't he? He's all right.
Watkins is injured, he's out, so he'll be away. They've got the boy Edmondson as well, who might come into the fray. He had
Big boy Fields, wasn't it?
he had the knock, wasn't he? He get battered into the wall up at Aberdeen. Who was it?
Softest.
Aye.
Soft, no.
So, but if they go that, I just think Rangers they're solid. They're
Too much for them.
Aye, they've just got a wee bit too much. But the Rangers will need to be good to beat Aberdeen.
I think Aberdeen will go right in their faces and try.
They've got to
try and create that old battle atmosphere. You know, I think they'll.
I know one player that will fancy their chances in Aberdeen side.
Lewis.
Aye. And that's his mentality.
Aye.
You know, so we've no really, we'll no really speak to him.
That was good of you to tell Rangers the Aberdeen team.
But no, if he's playing, but that's his mentality. That's the one thing, because I don't see him that much. I just speak to him on the phone every now and again and text, but he just thinks every game he goes in, he thinks he's going to win.
Aye,
love that.
It's not bad. It's not bad attitude.
Did you get your switch for Slaters?
Yes, we did.
Did you?
No, Dad get flashbacks by the my week after a horrendous start. I think the guy, you'll see that on Monday. My God,
He's our brilliant. The two is our
coming out Monday. Watch it
comedy
Monday.
gold, man.
Watch
It's
it Monday.
it's definitely going to be the best.
I do apologise for my language.
No,
You were amazing, mate. Honestly, genuinely, Jack and Victor, wasn't it?
Oh, it was amazing. We can move, couldn't we?
Hey, and the thing when it does come out, we didn't have a clue.
I didn't have a clue.
I'm
glad you said that, because some people would have went,
No,
we
we didn't have a clue.
I was just laughing because he kept calling.
I know.
Can I just say,
enjoy it.
I genuinely,
Out Monday.
I love you two.
They're the best.
I genuinely love, and I mean that. I see them as my father figure, and I see my dad, I love my dad to bits, but used to, sometimes you need that wee outsider, your family, and I see that. I remember I walked in with my suit a few weeks ago, and you genuinely looked proud of me walking in. The special feeling, and that is, a lot of people with me, mouthy, coming into the media game, very mouthy, very young, fresh, people don't like it, you know what I mean, because they feel they're coming to steal. These guys have embraced me and just been unbelievable with me. It's a lovely
Amazing.
And you are like family, because your cake will be produced next week. A wee cake for you.
What is it? A big cake? Is it wee cupcakes?
No, you'll have a cake. You'll have a proper
Is his face
cake
going to be on it?
for your. Well, what do you
There'll
fancy?
be strawberries on.
Will we get a wee slaney on the top of the cake?
Get a slaney on the top.
I'm Sunday. I'm Sunday.
Oh,
I
can't.
can't get a drink.
So you need to bring him on as well.
No, man.
Did it? Could you get Carol to bring the cake in?
Carol was in it. Carol was in it.
No, because he's talking about lap dances.
Right, your old team St Mirren are struggling. You take on Livy.
Yes.
St Mirren are 4 points behind Livy with 3 games in hand. How much do they need the result here?
They need a result big time, but is everyone fit and available to play? Don't know what's going on.
It's tough for Jim Good, but managers are getting judged on this. Missing players.
No, I don't think the ball at St Mirren, because they know what's happening. There's been too many players out. Can't train them. I just think. I think it's going to be hard for them. It's away, isn't it? It's away.
Yeah.
At Livingston, it's a hard place. Even with a crowd, but there's never a big crowd there anyway. But you know what I mean. But you go there and it's a pitch. I just think there'll be too much for.
And they might be missing.
Livingston will be too much for them.
They might be missing Shaughnessy, because he gets sent off against Queen's Park, where they were for long periods. St Mirren were bang average. I don't think they were at it. I thought they were going to turn.
A lot of them have not been training, Derek, so they've not been. No fit. I know they're coming back for COVID. They've not been training, been self-isolating. I don't know. I don't know how they'll go. A couple of weeks, judge them when all this is done. You can't judge a manager just now when they've got so many players out.
Shaughnessy's a massive miss.
I know.
And it was a stupid.
Does he miss the game? Is it?
I don't know how. I'm not sure. I don't know, but.
There's that many rules now. Different for.
But I think I like St Mirren's back four. I think that's
Jim Good. Point,
that's where Jim Goodwin's. I think he's bought really well. Boy Fraser he get in as well. Shaughnessy, Tate.
3 captains, SPFL captains last year.
Aye, so he showed that up at the back, but he was a wee bit rash and a wee bit silly. But it was just that kind of attitude to the game against Queen's Park.
I think cup games. I don't know if it's still.
I don't know.
League games. Don't know.
But he's one of their better players, so he is definitely. But and they've got a wee bit of youth about them as well. The boy Erahan in the middle of the park. They've got boys like McPherson as well. They've got some good young energy in there.
He's an encyclopedia, mate.
I love him. He knows everything.
Makes it easy for you. Just sit there and look good.
I just sit there and haven't got a clue.
Well, what about it'll be a happy bus at Livy on Saturday, Paul? With that.
My stomach's in bits in this side. No. Just actually spinning round now, just as I see it. I think Livy will beat St Mirren. I couldn't really care less, to be honest with you, both teams. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't really.
I can smell it.
No.
Hamilton as well. Hamilton are struggling. 8-0 defeat to Rangers. Cold, he went to Stranraer, got beat as well. Tough times for Brian Rice, isn't it?
I think so. There's only so much you can say when you get battered 8 goals. You know, you can't say we're learning off it. You can't keep saying that. You know, so I think something's got to change. And the manager's got to change it, whether he changes the way the formations or I don't know.
Do they need to go back to being harder to beat?
I think they used to be hard. Yeah. I mean, listen, even when they get beat 3-0, or you could tell it was hard to get the first
get a result.
Goal, you know. Yeah. I just think they've got to. Brian wants to play football and that, which I understand, but you've got to do that when you got the ball. I think they need to tighten up at the back. That's for sure.
Are you worried for them this year, Derek?
Aye, to be honest with you, a wee bit. I just, I like the way Brian Rice wants to play, but you need to have the players exactly. They've just got to get back to fighting and scrapping and being horrible to play against, because nobody likes playing against Hamilton, so they've got to find that. He keeps playing with the two up top. I think he's got to go with the one and just show up. I mean, they're no good at the back, so what you've got to give them is protection, you know, and that comes from the midfield. So even if that's stringing 5 across, you know, even 2 screeners in front of that back four.
Brian's thinking is they're not that good at the back, so they try to put them on the front foot.
But it's killing them.
It's not killing them.
So I hope it turns, because I've said it many a time. I've got a wee soft spot for the old Ackies, so but it's tough times ahead, I think.
Okay, Cooping time.
Hey, come on in.
Go on, Slaney, you can take over for him.
I've not got the coop here at all, Si.
You've got a great cooping, son.
You're dog and duck, isn't
You've got a great cooping, son.
Right, you ready for it? Who's want to go first?
Can I go first, just in case I need to run?
Aye, go on in.
Do you want to do it and then you can shoot to the...
Aye.
Hibs v Celtic.
Celtic.
Rangers v Aberdeen.
Rangers.
Dundee United v Hamilton.
Dundee United.
Livingston v St Mirren.
Livy.
St Johnstone versus Motherwell.
Motherwell.
Kilmarnock versus Ross County.
Kilmarnock.
Fulham versus Everton.
Everton.
It's a mixed cooping, remember? We're doing it with under the cosh, boys.
Everton, Si.
Liverpool v Leicester. Liverpool have got a lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries. I'm going to go.
Brendan's going home.
Draw.
Man U versus West Brom.
Man United.
Preston versus Sheffield Wednesday.
Alec Neil.
Go Preston, yeah. Sheffield Wednesday just sacked Gary Monk as well. Middlesbrough versus Norwich City.
Going to go for draw.
Norwich City draw. Wigan versus Oxford.
Let's go for Carol Robinson's the Oxford manager. Let's go for big Carol Robinson, Oxford.
Good man. You want to go?
I'm going to need to.
Right, you go. See you.
Go on, young man. Go on, young man.
Good luck, guys.
Do a wee dance as you go.
I can nearly feel it, Marcel.
Enjoy, mate.
Go pick it up.
Right, who's going next?
I'll go next. I'm not far off.
Go on.
Right,
I'm about to say
Hibs v Celtic.
Celtic.
Rangers versus Aberdeen.
Rangers.
Dundee United versus Hamilton.
Oh, it's a big game for Ackies, but I think Dundee United's home. Aye, at home. Yep, Dundee United.
Livy versus St Mirren.
I'm going to go for a draw.
Oh, okay. St Johnstone versus Motherwell.
And I'm going to go for a draw.
Right, okay. Kelly versus Ross County.
Kelly.
Fulham versus Everton.
Oh, Everton.
Liverpool v Leicester.
I know they've got. I'm going to go Liverpool.
Aye,
even though they've got injuries. Yeah.
Wow. Man U versus West Brom.
Man United.
Preston versus Sheffield Wednesday.
Preston.
Middlesbrough versus Norwich.
I like the manager at Middlesbrough, so I'm going to go Middlesbrough.
Who won it? How come you like him? Just character?
I just like Warnock, and he loves Scotland, so he does.
Okay, and Wigan versus Oxford.
I'm going to go opposite of Slaney, just for the hell of it. I'm going to go Wigan.
Good. Frank, you ready?
Hey.
Hibs v Celtic.
Celtic.
Rangers versus Aberdeen.
Draw.
Wow. You're going to draw?
I knew. I had a wee feeling you were going to go.
Okay.
I just fancy Aberdeen.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Dundee United versus Hamilton.
Dundee United.
Livingston versus St Mirren.
Livy.
St Johnstone versus Motherwell.
I want to go for home win, St Johnstone.
Okay, we played them last week, decent. Kilmarnock versus Ross County.
Kilmarnock.
Fulham versus Everton.
You're thinking about it. She's
Yeah,
I'm
is
going
it?
to
He's in his own,
go
man.
for a draw. Yeah.
good, man.
Fulham
Because
have,
Everton are not playing well at the moment.
they've done alright, Fulham, yeah. Liverpool versus Leicester.
Draw.
Man U versus West Brom.
Man U.
Preston v Sheffield Wednesday.
Don't know. Go for a draw.
Draw, okay. Middlesbrough versus Norwich.
Middlesbrough.
You want a coin to flip here?
Nah, you know.
Wigan v Oxford.
Wigan.
Wigan, thanks very much. We'll go and look over the cubicle at him. Cheers, lads.
Cheers.